the hell out of that football. Our wide receiver one is very much back, and thank God for it. Terry just caught his first touchdown of the season. I will admit, Marcus Mariota made it a little difficult, but it counts nonetheless. A massive play for the Commanders. We got a tie ball game, Lynnell, in Kansas City, under a minute left to go in the first half. However, we are jumping on now just to be a little safe. We saw what happened last week in the final minute against Dallas. Andy Reid clearly did as well because he was utilizing his timeouts to give them a position to do what Dallas did last week. So the defense that has played fantastic. I don't think there's any other word to describe what they've done other than that. They now have to make one more stop before we go into the intermission as happy campers.
And that stop just became a lot easier to get as there was a hold on the kickoff.
Massive hold.
So that is going to make Kansas City have to drive this with about 90 yards, 85 yards.
I swear.
With 53 seconds. And I know we all have PTSD from last week against Dallas. But holy hell, we'll save the analysis, I guess, till we actually get to the half.
It's been a good first half for Washington.
You couldn't have drawn up a better first half for this defense. I'll get to my criticisms and complaints about the offense as we get moving. But I said it during the pregame, Denton, that tonight it's a culture type of game, man. Who are you?
And they hurt you.
What type of effort are you going to give? They're playing fast. They're playing with their hair on fire. I've loved everything about it. I know some folks are going to, question Dan Quinn and the decision to continuously go for it on fourth down.
I mean, with a kicker, with a kicker that you have, which is a guy that you do not know, and a guy that, as we pointed out on the preseason, has been rostered for 10 total NFL teams, I don't know that I'm throwing him out there either.
Yeah.
The issue was the play calling.
Yes.
For one of them, the issue for the second one was that robots need to die. Because the AI, virtual reality, whatever goofy-ass name they want to call it, that thing sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks, dude. That was a first down by Ertz with every camera angle in the world. You could see knee down, yes, ball crossing the line to gain. They let these damn robots make the decisions for us, and they get it wrong. And they cost Washington points, and then naturally Kansas City goes and they score right after.
Yeah, it was definitely tough to watch. I will say this about the Commanders' offense. They're really one-dimensional right now, it feels like. The running game has not been able to get going to the degree that they needed to.
Kansas City is playing too downhill, man. I'm hoping that throw to Terry will kind of allow them to open up the offense a little bit. That Kansas City defense knows that Washington wants to run, and they're playing super downhill, and that gives them an advantage in that. Javon Kinlaw almost just killed Patrick Mahomes.
They're getting after him. I mean, we said it, in the pregame. Like, you have to make him uncomfortable throughout points of this game. And he won over the right guard. With
nice little swim move. That was beautiful.
It was over with. He looked 66 was looking back like, oh, I'm sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to.
And also smart by Kinlaw hitting Mahomes here rather than here.
Oh, yeah.
To avoid the 15-yard. They are itching to throw one when it's Mahomes getting hit.
So remember when Kansas City had to take that timeout to stop the runoff?
Oh,
come on, baby, Treyway.
Trey Amos just broke up a pass deep down the field to Xavier Worthy. It looked like it was going to potentially be Mahomes' third interception of the day.
We had Hollywood Brown wide open. He missed it.
That's a great play by Amos,
yes,
though. Perfectly timed, getting a hand on the football. He's the best DB on the roster.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, but plays like that. By the way, Marshawn Lattimore. Where the Marshawn Lattimore Hive at? Interception. First one since God knows what.
I think it's since 2022, then.
Dear Lord.
Get him down.
That's intentional grounding. He didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and he threw it with his left hand.
Man,
they're talking about it, but Lord have mercy.
In the chat, why every week in this damn chat, y'all complain about Joe Witt. Where are y'all at?
Are they not going to call that?
The defense is pitched damn near a shutout. 7 points allowed to Kansas City in the first half, and I hear nothing in the chat about the way the defense is playing. Don't be
There's
fair
no
weather.
chance they're going to let him get away. There was not a receiver within 15 yards of that. Thank you. All right, thank you. Sorry, I was being mean to the officials.
They listened to
They've
you.
called a good game.
Woosah.
I called a good game. Breathe. I did yoga last week. I got yoga coming up this week. First of all, I'm gonna if I could make a rule, if I could make one rule, anytime a quarterback that you know is right-handed throws a ball with his left hand, that should be intentional grounding. I don't care what the circumstances.
Yeah.
If a dominant right-handed guy throws it with his left hand as a defense is holding his right hand, that should be intentional grounding.
I totally agree with you. That makes it. We are discriminating against ambidextrous people.
We are.
That's what this is.
Guess who's ambidextrous? This guy.
Huh.
Right here.
Huh.
Yeah. So halftime here, we will officially start the halftime portion of the show. Washington tied up 7-7 with Kansas City. I had a lot of thoughts, Lynnell, on how this game would go. I got called drunk on Twitter when I tweeted that I think Washington could pull the upset. Right now, they look like, dare I say, the better team. Defensively, they have played really, really well. Offensively, they have played really, really well, albeit you had one where Debo just completely, I don't know what happened.
He was trying to run before he got the damn football, but
it smacked him right in the face mask.
Yeah.
That has been the only real negative play from Washington. They're going for it on fourth downs, which we knew they would because they don't have a kicker that they trust. Yeah. But on top of that, if you're surrendering 3 points, I saw something from Greg Olsen this weekend that was really interesting in just the way that he thinks about football. Would you rather surrender 3 points and then effectively give them the football back at the 35-yard line? Or if you're inside the 35 and it's a fourth and manageable, you just go for the fourth down. Right. And then you're benefiting your defense in that. And you trust what you have going on offense. You just, maybe on a 4th and 1 instead of a deep shot to Terry McLaurin that's very clearly not there. You have a couple big bodies in the backfield. Maybe you can – you're only the second best rushing team in the NFL. Right. I would maybe run it on a 4th and 1. All outside of those two plays, though, Lynnell, the offense for Washington has been good. Defensively, they have been excellent.
Yeah. I think Joe Witt deserves a bunch of credit. We were curious to see what type of schematic personnel changes we would see for the defense. You saw Tyler Owens come out as the big nickel in place of Mikey Sainristil. You saw Jordan McGee as the third linebacker. You saw the 5-man fronts. It's been really cool to watch, man. I think they're doing a good job being aggressive with their pass rush. They're sending 5 or more every time, it feels like. I think the interior guys have done a good job talking about Javon Kinlaw and Deron Payne in terms of moving Mahomes off of his spot.
Kinlaw's been excellent today.
We also got to shout out the dude who led the pregame huddle. He is a captain this weekend for Washington as a special teamer, ironically, but he's making plays on his defense. Jacob Martin, take a bow. He set the tone to me early with the first sack that he had, this relentless attitude when trying to get after the quarterback. I think it's had a trickle-down effect. And I really do think we were sitting here laughing about it as we were wrapping up the pregame show. His pregame speech, I need somebody to clip it off for me. Is it on Commander Social? I need to hear it in real time because I was ready to run through a wall here in Sterling or here in Fairfax, man, because he's the type of guy that doesn't get a lot of recognition. He's not a household name.
He's going to have to be one.
Yeah.
He's playing like he wants financial security. And I respect that because there's going to be opportunities for him to stick around for a long time if he keeps playing the way that he's playing.
He's a commander.
He is a commander, right? And it's nice to have a guy that kind of came, seemingly out of nowhere,
right,
to then really step up making plays. I think he's been excellent. There's been a lot of guys that you can point to and say they've been really good in the first half. He is one of them. Marshawn Lattimore got his first interception.
Let's talk about him.
The play he made on that football, that was vintage Marshawn Lattimore. If you watch highlights of him when he was in New Orleans at the peak, when he was winning matchups against Mike Evans and winning matchups against A.J. Brown, it was those kind of plays. That was the intuition. I hope that broke whatever spell he's been under.
Yeah.
Because in his time here in Washington, we haven't seen that guy. I want to see a lot more of him.
I agree, and it was kind of the sentiments that I echoed this week. Like, I thought the secondary for Washington's actually getting better, right? Earlier in the season, what was the complaint? Guys were running wide open. They were scot-free. Nobody was in the picture. I think what you've seen here over the past couple of weeks, although they haven't made the plays on the football, guys are in the screen. Last week against Dallas, man, if Marshawn Lattimore plays the ball better, they may win the football game. Who knows how the game goes? because he was in phase. He was running step for step with guys. This idea that he's old and slow and can't run anymore, I think has been totally overblown. He's been in phase, really, it feels like, all year long. It's just about being able to turn your head around and make the play. I think you hit it on the head. That was vintage Marshawn Lattimore. Good for him, and I'm happy he's been able to push through this.
We saw a little bit of the clock being turned back for his fellow, shall we say, elder statesman on defense. The second interception came by way of Bobby Wagner. Travis Kelce has the ball hit him right in the hands. He was, thinking of Taylor Swift. We should have been thinking about the football. Thankfully, Bobby Wagner was thinking about the football. He's able to make a play. The defense has turned Patrick Mahomes over twice. And I think they said on the broadcast, chat, correct me if I got this wrong, because, we're in a crowded bar here at Honor. That's the first time that Mahomes has thrown back-to-back interceptions on opening drives of a football game. So that's a historically bad night for Patrick Mahomes. It is a bit of a shame that Washington was not able to put any points up on the board, but I do think it's a major win when you're just keeping Kansas City off of the scoreboard. That's all you kind of want. Like I said it in pregame, bend, don't break.
Yeah.
That's a great example of bend, don't break.
And they've been awesome with it tonight. I think the tackling's been really good. A couple of times KC has tried to run screens. I love the way that Washington's eyes are getting fooled. We talk about eye discipline all the time. They look like a group that is prepared for this football game. I want to read a text message I got from my good pal Mo. He said this about Jeremy Reeves. He said, Revo can't cover a twin mattress with a king sheet, but his play recognition is immaculate. You see the way he's flying to the football downhill. Looks like he shot out of a cannon. That's all about guys being more dialed in, a little bit extra this week to try and get this job done here.
It's been really, really good. Here's the half by the numbers for Washington, specifically on the offensive side, because Marcus Mariota has been really, really good. They're not stretching the field as much as I would like. Hopefully that changes in the second half, but he's 14-17 for 155 yards. He has a touchdown. He has a pick. That pick was because of the Deebo Samuel thing. The touchdown was that to Terry. He's also the team's leading rusher, 6 carries, 22 yards. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 7 carries for 18 yards. He has not had the success that we want him to have, but a lot of that is because Kansas City's defense is really playing to stop the run.
Yeah.
And because Washington is not stretching the field, even though Mariota has 155 yards, a lot of those have been checkdowns that have turned into something. And I do think there's a lesson. In that. Show that picture.
This is what I just showed Denton. There's no way I did that while he was talking. Look at Jaden Mariota. That's amazing, bro.
The patience of Marcus Mariota has been unbelievable. And the guys that have benefited the most from it have been the tight ends. John Bates, 1 catch, 22 yards. Ben Sinnott, 1 catch, 22 yards. Zach Ertz, 3 catches. So he now moves into that group that you had mentioned during pregame. 3 catches, 11 yards. Should have been 12. But again, AI is a fake and it's a fraud. Yeah. Defunded. Jeremy McNichols, the team's leading receiver, 3 receptions, 52 yards, one of which was when I looked at Lynnell and I said, that's a floater that Marcus Mariota threw to McNichols, and McNichols took it. There's benefits of checking the football down. I'm not like a soft bench or anything like that, but I really hope Jaden is watching and says, hey, when you're patient, good things happen. And I do think this team really excels in backyard football.
You can't go broke taking a profit. Like,
you can't.
If he's open in the flat, I don't care if you're waiting for the route to develop 15 yards downfield. Take what you can get. Do not put your offensive line in a compromising position. I think Marcus Mariota has played damn near flawlessly to this point. The interception, as you mentioned.
That's not on him.
Not on him. I want to see Washington try to get their traditional run game on the perimeter a little bit more. More of Bill Krosky-Merritt on the edge. More of Jeremy McNichols on the edge. I think they've allowed Nick Bolton and Leo Chanel and George Karlaftis, the speed that they have at that second level is kind of deterring Washington from going out and trying to get the ball on the perimeter. I say to hell with it. Let's get on the edge. Let's punch them in their face and go win the second half, man. I said it during the pregame. There was a look. There was a look I needed to see with this group. They have 100% shown it here from the outset. I don't care how the hell the game finishes. We know that you're capable of this.
Right.
This is the best offense in football.
That's what's been so frustrating.
Do it every week.
Is that we know that you can do this, and they haven't been doing this. So we're sitting at, for us, various different bars. For you, you're home, or maybe you're going to the games, and you're like, I know what this team is capable of, but they're not showing it on a week-in, week-out basis. They're doing what is, as we call it, playing to the competition, because you're taking on arguably the best team in football right now in Kansas City. But you're making this Chiefs team look a hell of a lot more like week 1 and week 2 than it has in anything since.
Yeah.
Now that Mahomes has all of his weapons back, and that's been very, very exciting, I would think.
I love it, man. I think they talked about simplifying things this week, and it looks like they're playing a lot faster. I think for me in the second half, if there's anything I'm going to nitpick about with the defense, there has been times where the pass rush has kind of gone dead.
Yes.
Let's keep it going. I don't know if it's rotating
Get the
fresh
pressure
bodies
on
out.
Mahomes, man.
I know Johnny Newton left with an ankle injury. I don't know if
did.
he returned. They are getting thin up front.
They are.
I keep telling the folks, I gotta lay off
Sheldon
the weight.
Day's not playing. He got moved down. Another injury update.
Yeah.
Not that it ended up being that big of a deal, but Laramie Tunsil did leave.
Yeah.
Brandon Coleman came in, but Laramie Tunsil came back. So Tunsil is good, but it wasn't a massive difference when Brandon Coleman came in. And I don't say that to slight Laramie Tunsil. I say that more to praise Brandon Coleman, a guy that we haven't seen in well over a month. For him to be able to come back in when it called upon and not have it be the talk of the first half of how he's getting blown up, that's a really big positive for a guy that that definitely needs it. I can't imagine that this last month, 5 weeks, whatever it's been, has been exceptionally easy for him. So really, really good stuff from him to be able to play well when called upon.
Yeah, I think it's huge, man. I talked about it being a culture game, right? That's a part of this culture. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, be ready for your moment. As you mentioned, man, like there were some folks that were kind of, feeling like Brandon Coleman may have played his last snaps here in D.C. I don't think that's
I was one of them.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's a situation where injuries are going to put him back in the lineup. Attrition is something that is unavoidable here. But to your point, like, didn't look like Laramie Tunsil was out of the football game.
No,
And
I
he
didn't
hadn't
realize until you pointed it out.
And he hadn't played tackle at all this year. He's been strictly playing guard, both right guard and left guard, even dating back to training camp. I asked the question of, hey, like, are y'all going to ever work Coleman at tackle during the offseason? They said no because they wanted him to focus on being a guard. He was not very good last year as a tackle, but he was damn good.
He was good when called upon. So now we look towards the second half.
Yeah.
Washington started with the football in the first half, which means Kansas City gets it to start the second half. That's going to be a defining drive. What is this second half going to look like? Kansas City has not had a lot of issues moving the football. They've had a lot of issues converting, right? They have one touchdown where I'm sure they're in that locker room screaming about how they should have at least 2, potentially 3. This is going to be really important for Washington. Get off the field.
Yes.
Keep them out of the end zone. If it's a field goal, fine, but keep them out of the end zone because as good as they've been at moving the football, you have been equally good at moving the football.
I totally agree. I think this defense has answered the bell here right off the rip. I'm looking for them to kick the ball in play, Denton. Come down and make a big hit. Set the tone for the second half, man.
I need Frankie Louvu, who I think Frankie Louvu has been good. I need Frankie Louvu to make a big play. Like, I need a game-wrecking kind of play. I need a big hit. I need maybe on a second down a deflection at the line of scrimmage that puts them into a third and long. I need somebody to crack Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't fall for I'm running towards the sideline. Oh, crack him, man. Like, get after him. I need that.
For sure. And look, I said it a moment ago, I want us to win. But the fact that the defense has showed this performance when their backs are against the wall, when they're public enemy number 1 here in the DMV, for them to come out with this type of first half performance, shout out to the defense, shout out to Joe Witt. That's what you call a group that's playing for their coach. They hear the noise. They know what it is. And I love it. Nobody in that locker room, you haven't heard a whisper of anybody complaining about the scheme. It's all been a bunch of accountability. They got to play better.
We got 30 minutes left to go. Let's see if we're as happy at the end of it as we are right now. We'll be back at the end of the game right here on Twitter and YouTube.